Hey, this is Jim, and we all love eBay, right? I do too. I still do. They've done something recently that has some sellers upset, though, and I want to talk a little bit about it. Recently, they suspended 15,000 sellers. And I'm going to put it in perspective and talk about what you can do to protect yourself and why this may not be quite as big a deal as some people are making of it, but at the same time, it's something to be taken very seriously. It has to do with the DSRs, or the detailed seller ratings, that every eBay seller has put upon them, because every time someone buys from you, they have a star system of feedback. The ones that are most likely to get you in trouble as a seller are shipping time and shipping and handling charges. These are the ones that most of the accounts that were suspended were having trouble with. You'll find plenty of chatter over the internet. One of the most comprehensive articles that I found was by Susan Wells, talking about the 15,000 sellers who have been blocked. You'll find lots of comments and discussion everywhere, including eBay's own discussion boards, where if you search for the term account suspended, you'll find multiple conversations going on and a good handful of people who are kind of upset and they feel like they've been treated unfairly by eBay. If you want to read what eBay has to say about detailed seller ratings, just follow this menu trail here or go to their help menu and type in detailed seller ratings. Scroll down the page. You'll find all sorts of helpful information there for you, including how the ratings are calculated and improving your ratings and that sort of thing. It's smart to understand these details so you don't get yourself into trouble. Here's an example of some of the creative things that sellers have done in the past to try to ensure that they get positive feedback. And you're smart to encourage your buyers to leave you positive feedback and do everything you can to earn it, because just a handful of negatives can negatively impact your score. Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what you can do to protect yourself now. But first I want to put things in perspective. Here's an online calculator. I'm going to do a little math. We know that 15,000 eBay sellers were just suspended. If I divide that number by the 15 million eBay sellers, which is probably a really low number. I had trouble tracking down how many there are, but that was an accepted number several years ago. I think there's way more than that. So what eBay has effectively done is eliminated the bottom 1%, in their opinion, right or wrong, of all eBay sellers. If you can avoid being in that bottom 1%, you're probably going to be okay. So that just helps us keep this thing in perspective. Now, I can't promise the 15 million number is accurate, but I think it's probably low if you look at all the sellers on eBay. So this 1% number may be even high. I'm sure it's not far too low. So what can you do about it? You go to the Managing Your Selling Activity area on eBay and manage your buyer requirements. What you can do is keep buyers who are likely to leave you negative feedback from ever buying from you at all. That's one of the things you can do. Specify buyer requirements. If you scroll down that page, you'll see here's step-by-step instructions, and I'll put them on the screen as best I can, on how to get in and see your buyer requirements and then change them. I suggest you do this. You can even block buyers in territories or states or countries that you don't want to ship to. It's really smart if you're shipping internationally to pay attention to this. If you want to get an idea on where you should and shouldn't ship to, find someone who ships internationally a lot and duplicate what countries they do and don't ship to. You can even see a list of all of the potential buyers who have been blocked. I went through and just checked out the last couple months. All of these buyers were blocked from buying something from me because either they had too many unpaid item strikes against them, or maybe they had purchased too many items from me recently. Because keep in mind, if someone buys, let's say, 10 items from you all at once and then they decide they don't like you, they can leave you 10 negatives all in one slam. You don't want that to happen, so you can limit how many items you'll sell to people. And just scrolling through, you can see I've had quite a few buyers blocked. And it's interesting to me that they all had 100% feedback, but yet they didn't meet my requirements. In most cases, it was they had too many unpaid item strikes against their account. So I'm glad to have blocked those people. So a few summarizing final points. You really need to make sure, if you're selling on eBay, that you're blocking potentially bad buyers. And keep in mind, this is eBay's playground. The rules won't always be fair. Your account might suddenly just vanish one day. If you don't have a backup plan and you're not constantly keeping that in mind, unfortunately, that's the reality we play with. eBay doesn't owe you the opportunity to sell on their site. They could change their mind tomorrow and just decide that they don't like your last name and shut you down. It's not likely to happen. We saw the percentages. At worst, it was 1% of sellers that have been eliminated at this point. And they have other options on the internet. It's not the end of the world. I hope it doesn't happen to me. I hate it if it happened to you, and I'm very sorry. But this is eBay's playground. This is the world we live in. If you play nice, the odds are stacked in your favor, though. I've met many, many eBay employees and decision makers, and without exception, they've all been great people. They're not out to get us. But you do need to have multiple income streams. That's the kind of stuff I like to teach. If you look at my other videos and pay attention to the stuff I write, that's what I talk about. Protect yourself. Don't just rely on one website for your income. And by all means, be growing your customer list constantly. Own it, protect it, and use it. So if one of your sources goes down, one of your websites goes down, one of the services you use goes down, you still got your customer list. That's the most valuable asset your business will ever have. Hey, I'm going to sign off now. I hope you found this information useful. Leave me a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube. I'd love to have you subscribe to my channel as well. Or jump over and get my free newsletter. It can be found at silentjim.com. Thanks. Talk to you soon.